Wow. I was just looking at Canelo Alvarez throwing hooks, uppercuts, straight rights, and the punches were sounding, as you guys could hear, they were massive. In fact, I will leave the link below on his from his Instagram. And it seems to me that Canelo at age 30, or is he 29 or 30, he's now filling in. He's a lot bulky. I think he honestly punches harder at a heavier weight. You know, looking at fighters like Vinny Pazienza that used to work at, that used to come in at 140 and fought at 140, and then he came up to 160 and higher, was actually stronger. Now, Canelo, from it appears that may be the case, but looking at this, him throwing these left punches, these left hooks, these right hooks, these straight rights, these uppercuts, you can tell that there's definitely power behind him. And Canelo is a very talented fighter. And it's looking like the power is there, along with the skill and the ring IQ and the experience and the talent of this fighter. And he's still a young guy. Now, of course, we know that Canelo is looking forward to fighting either Billy Joe Saunders, Callum Smith, or Ryota Morata. And Callum Smith was actually the front runner, but it looks like that is going in another direction of Morata. And, you know, it's crazy because you have these guys that like Morata. He's a good fighter. Yes, he has 2 losses. You know, his losses came to Robert Brandt and Hassim Endam. Okay, but looking at his resume, Morata's resume, he's the weakest link of those 3. Now, based on what I see, based on what Canelo can do, he's been in top fights with guys like Lara, Mayweather, Jacobs, Triple G twice. And we've seen what his ability is. My only question is, as good as Canelo Alvarez appears to be, why is he still protected, and why is he still sitting down at the negotiating table with guys like Ryota Morata? Why? Why isn't it Callum Smith? Why isn't it Billy Joe Saunders? Why isn't it these guys? Why is it always the weakest link of all these fighters? Yes, I give accolades to Canelo Alvarez. He's very talented. He's very gifted. He has the experience. Even at a young age, when he fought Mayweather, he was a grown-ass man, people. He was 22 years old. Or maybe 23. I think he was 22. Okay. Now, at what point does Canelo have to start wanting to fight the best? Now, we know about the offer of Jamal. Heard about the offer. You know, based on other promoters with the same experiences from Jamal, it's led to be true by what he's doing or what he's not doing. And he's not responding, he's showing no interest in these fights. However, Canelo has other options. He has other fish to fry, other people he could fight. He has Andrade. You know, if he's going to stay at 168, wonderful. Fight Callum Smith. Fight Billy Joe Saunders. Fight Gilberto Ramirez. Fight these guys. I think he's at light heavyweight now. But hey, he just had a championship at light heavyweight, right? Like, even at light heavyweight, let's look at that for a minute. You fought Sergey Kovalev, of all people, the guy that is going out of the business, The guy that said, hey, you thought that I was going to beat Canelo Alvarez, you're crazy. A guy that only admitted, I'm fighting Canelo Alvarez for the money. So you didn't even come to win. So if you didn't even come to win, is it fair to say maybe you came to lose? Maybe you knew you was going to lose? Did you help with that loss a little bit? See, it's fair to say that. Why? A lot of people say, oh, that's crazy. He didn't throw the fight or whatever. Nonetheless, he is the weakest link out of all those particular fighters, people. He's the weakest of those guys. What about the other DAZN guy? What about Bivol? That undefeated guy. What about not Benavidez, but Better Beef? What about Better Beef? Another undefeated fighter, both at light heavyweight. Elither Alvarez, the other Alvarez that knocked out, Kovalev. Even though Kovalev came back and beat him, then he beat Anthony Yarde. So, it's like this. Some of the fighters that are past their prime, it's always a saying, they still have a few good fights left. That doesn't mean at the end of their career that the last fight is going to be their best fight or a good fight. Okay? So that doesn't mean that at all. Okay? So we can stop that right now with all the BS. But again, that's an example made. Kovalev was the low-hanging fruit. He was the weakest link in that equation, hands down. So again, we're going back to Canelo and how good he is. Like, if he's that good, and I think he's a very good fighter. A lot of people say, man, you hate on Canelo. No, I just question, why do they protect Canelo like they do? Why do they give us fights that we don't want to see? See, at this point, PBC is not only the problem, it's boxing overall if you have Canelo bullshitting us. We don't want to see Murata. Murata got knocked out, got beat by people that we didn't even know who the hell they were. Like, come on, man. Like, what is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, De La Hoya, I know that's your last, best hope of staying irrelevant in Golden Boy. I know it. He's holding the strap on Golden Boy by himself. I get it. That's Canelo. He needs to feed Canelo. But come on. These fights that we're showing, and Canelo and De La Hoya knows better. He knows that people don't want to see these fights. But I you know what I think at this point? I think because they signed the DAZN deal, they have to they're just fighting people to fill those slots to obligate that contract. That's what I believe at this point. Because if you come in there to fight Murata, who the fuck is Murata? Why don't you fight Callum Smith, an undefeated fighter? Billy Joe Saunders, another undefeated fighter. All champions. Right? You fought the guy that was beat by the guy that people want you to fight. Make that make sense. Why don't you beat the guy that beat the guy instead of the guy that got beat? Rocky Fielding got beat by Callum Smith. Come on, let's be real. Now you don't want to fight that guy. You want to fight the loser out of the two. It's crazy. And it's like one of those situations where you have a guy with all that talent like Canelo Alvarez, and it's sad. You know why it's sad? Because a guy with all that talent, all that experience, his fame and his money will be the reason that he can't shine as a good boxer or a great boxer. This fake legacy that they're giving Canelo, that's all that really is. They should stop that. If they believe in Canelo, stop protecting Canelo. Let Canelo fight these real killers. He's not too good. He's not over being beat again. Okay, let's face it. If he gets beat, fine. It'll be like Joshua. Have the rematch. See if he can overcome. Okay, do that. Go that route. Don't go the bullshit route. And I know that's what's happening because Oscar only has that one last cash cow. That's it. Ryan Garcia hasn't been tested. If he gets knocked out, who the fuck does he really have over there? Who does he have? He's lost most of his fighters years ago to Heyman. Again, who does he have? So Canelo, I think it's going to have to be up to him if he wants the best fights. Honestly. You just picking a guy out of a hat just for the sake of doing it, that's not going to appease your fans. That's why those ratings are low. DAZN USA will find that out if they decide to fight Murata. And those fucking fights suck and it lasts 3 rounds. People are going to be like, well, damn, Canelo, why don't you step up already? Why don't you step up? What's the deal? Okay? Stop trying to fight McGregor and Mayweather. Stop trying to beat fighters that's already out of the game or that was never in the game. Stop that. Be yourself. Believe in yourself. Fight the best. And legacy and time and destiny will take care of the rest. That's my counterpunch on that, guys. You guys tell me what you think about Canelo Alvarez. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.